What's up, guys? Welcome back to the doctor's office. I am Dr. KY Knight, here to give you proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters. And I told you I was going to get back to it, so I am. This is comic book characters you may or may not know about. And today we are talking about Celine Patterson, aka Skitter from DC Comics. Now, Celine was named Skitter by her twin sister. But she turns into this like insectoid when she sleeps, right? And so she like wakes up as like a fucking insect thing. And her sister wanted to help as best she could because of course this is clearly very terrifying for her. And so she names her Skitter because the name is like sounds cute and harmless. Now, the thing about Skitter is at one point she does become part of the Teen Titans. I believe at the end of the first issue of Superboy, we see her with the Teen Titans, and she is part of Superboy's like first initial mission. And that's when Superboy was like first coming into, and he was like fighting fucking everybody. Now, Red Robin, Red Robin ended up hearing about Skitter while he was just kind of scouring the internet for information, and he came across her sister's blog where she's like talking about her sister and is essentially seeking help for her sister, and she ends up like unknowingly, unwittingly giving the location of her sister to an agency called Nowhere. So he ends up traveling from New York to Southern California so that he can assist her. And he finds out that she's she's underground, like in these sewers. And he goes to talk to her. He defeats Thrice, who is a Nowhere agent. And when he goes to talk to her, she is of course terrified and thinks that he's coming to take her. So they do get into a fight, but Wonder Girl comes down there to assist and she knocks Skitter unconscious. Skitter ends up putting a cocoon around herself, and while she is cocooned, they put her on a boxcar to go back to New York. On the way, they meet Bunker, and at some point, either while they are still traveling to New York or when they get there, she does emerge out of her cocoon, not as Skitter, but as herself, Celine. Now, while they are in New York, it is Skitter who brings attention to the fact that Wonder Girl is fighting Superboy in Times Square. Why they're not paying attention to that and she had to tell them is beyond me, but okay. So they leave to go assist, but she does not go because she doesn't think that it's her fight. And quite honestly, it wasn't. At some point, she probably would have definitely got hurt fighting with fucking Superboy of all people. So she does end up going that way anyway because the police show up. Jocelyn Lure is like the commanding officer, and she's going to arrest them for destroying public or private property, which is weird. You either want us to fucking save people from Superboy or you don't. But whatever. So she decides to go and assist them to keep them from getting arrested, and she threatens Commander Lure, and Red Robin's just like, don't do something that you're going to regret. However, in her mind, she kind of just like snaps, so she turns on the Titans and starts to fight them, but Bunker goes and he's like steps forward to appeal to her Celine side, and she, as Skitter, hugs Bunker and basically fucking snaps out of it. That's interesting, honestly, because having the fact that they really kind of just met and they haven't really been on the team together that long, and she was already developing that attachment to Bunker specifically, was interesting. But relationships in DC Comics move extremely fast, so but they do end up going to Star Labs to get help for Kid Flash. Now, when they get to Star Labs to get that help for Kid Flash, they are met by Grimm, who is a villain, and he uses his powers to take over Skitter's body and make her free him. And he's like using her he's controlling her so that she can attack the team. But she is saved by Wonder Girl and Bunker, and they break his control over her. Later on, they end up going to Red Robin's apartment, and there he asks the team to help him free Superboy. So he knows that there's something up with Superboy, and of course he's asking his team, because that is of course his team, and he wants their help for this, because at the end of the day, Superboy is also his friend. Everybody doesn't want to do that. Skitter is amongst the group. They do not wish to assist because of what he did to the team earlier and prior to that, but they already know that it's something that he can't help, and it was Kid Flash who actually ended up convincing her to assist. And she was with Kid Flash and Bunker when they did save and free Superboy, and she was with the entire team when they got attacked by the Harvest. Now, during the culling, they are all overpowered by the Harvest and mentally tortured by Omen. And in her torture, Omen splits her in two. Skitter splits her in two. So there's Skitter and there's Celine. And she gets so pissed off about that, she wants to be put back together. And she mentions freedom. So after she does that, it turns out that everything is just happening in their head. Nothing has actually physically happened to them. And she is able to break free of that. And once she comes to, she is one person. When she goes to assist the rest of the team, somebody else comes to get them, to take them to the Crucible, where other people are, other teen heroes are preparing for the culling. I was like, what the fuck did I say? They're preparing for the culling, and Skitter, he misses Skitter when he comes to get the rest of the team. So when Skitter is going to assist, she hears a voice that sounds like hers telling her, it's okay, sister, we have better places to go. And then she just disappears. That is quite literally the last time we even actually see her on page, during the culling or even after that period. There is a part where Red Robin is thinking about all the people that he failed, and Skitter does come to mind. But during that whole time, when she left, they were constantly looking for her. And when they all got freed, Dawnstar was our psychic can't find her, so she must have escaped on her own. But y'all haven't used her or said anything about her since that time. One of the things that I actually really cannot stand when they bring black characters into stuff is, if you're going to take them off the page, then they just go off the page. It's like the chick who went upstairs on Family Matters and never brought her motherfucking ass back downstairs. They disappear off page and then they are just gone. So, y'all know me. I don't know. I really wish that they would bring her back. They are bringing back so many people, especially with the start of Justice League Unlimited. You might as well, because the Titans have grown as a team. Red Robin's not on there anymore, but he does assist from time to time. Nightwing is still there, but I feel like you should definitely bring her back in some way, shape, or form, since you are bringing back literally everybody else. So, that's just me. But that is it for this episode of The Doctor's Office. And I will see you guys at your next checkup.